veterinary toxicology? The science of studying toxic substances, their effects, diagnosis, and treatment in animals. What key principle defines toxicity? The dose makes the poison. What were early beliefs about the cause of animal diseases? They were attributed to spirits and mysterious forces. What role did folk medicine play in early animal care? Folk medicine used rituals, herbs, and charms to treat illnesses. Who identified dicumarol in sweet clover? R.P. Link. What is the importance of fluoride in toxicology? Excessive fluoride causes fluorosis in livestock. What event accelerated chemical use in animal environments? World War II and the rise of pesticides and chemical warfare agents. What is ecotoxicology? The study of toxic substances in ecosystems. What does ABVT stand for? American Board of Veterinary Toxicology. What is the main goal of veterinary toxicology? To protect animal health and public safety by understanding and preventing toxic exposures. What are mycotoxins? Toxins produced by fungi that contaminate animal feed. Name a common environmental toxin studied in veterinary toxicology. Dioxins. What does ADME stand for in toxicokinetics? Absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. What university is known for early toxicology training? Cornell University. What are pyrethroids? Synthetic insecticides based on natural pyrethrins. What is proteomics used for in toxicology? To study changes in protein expression due to toxins. What is the role of veterinary toxicologists in public health? Ensuring food safety and preventing zoonotic toxin exposure. What are xenobiotics? Foreign substances not naturally produced by the body. What is a chelating agent? A compound that binds metals to aid their excretion. What are biomarkers in toxicology? Indicators of exposure or effect of a toxic substance. Who studied fluoride poisoning from industrial pollution? J.L. Shoup. What is the significance of melamine in veterinary toxicology? Melamine contamination caused pet food recalls due to kidney failure. What does One Health represent? Integrating human, animal, and environmental health. What is the main focus of bioinformatics in toxicology? Predicting toxic risks. What is cyanide poisoning often linked to? Consumption of sorghum or certain cyanogenic plants. What is an example of a nanoparticle concern in animals? Nanoparticles in veterinary drugs and feed additives. What type of testing is common in regulatory toxicology? OECD guideline testing. What is the role of veterinary diagnostic labs? Identifying toxins in clinical cases. What is dicumarol's mechanism? Acts as an anticoagulant. Name a common heavy metal toxin. Lead. What does NOAA stand for? No observed adverse effect level. What tool is used for visualizing tissue changes from toxins? Electron microscopy. What is a common result of nitrate poisoning in ruminants? Methemoglobinemia. What is the importance of fescue toxicity? Causes reproductive and performance issues in livestock. Who investigated the toxic effects of antiseptics? W.G. Huber. What is immunotoxicology? Study of chemicals that affect the immune system. What are feed contaminants of concern in toxicology? Mycotoxins, melamine, and heavy metals. Name an early organization promoting veterinary toxicology. American College of Veterinary Toxicologists, ACVT. What is ecotoxicology concerned with? Effects of chemicals on the environment and wildlife. What is the role of veterinary toxicologists in climate change? Monitoring emerging toxins linked to environmental changes. What is an example of a new generation pesticide? Fipronil. What is the significance of dioxins in toxicology? Persistent environmental pollutants with carcinogenic effects. What type of plant toxin is found in cottonseed? Gossypol. What is the function of the ABVT certification? To standardize and certify veterinary toxicologists. What tool is improving diagnostics in toxicology labs? Artificial intelligence, AI. What is a major focus of mycotoxin research? Preventing contamination in animal feed and food chains. What is the main concern with rodenticides? Non-target animal poisoning. Name an example of phytoestrogen concern in animals. Soybean meal. What is the importance of water testing in toxicology? Detecting contaminants like nitrates and cyanotoxins. What does IPCMS detect in toxicology labs? Trace metals in samples. What is the significance of biphenyls in the environment? Persistent organic pollutants harmful to wildlife. What is a safe dose in toxicology terms? A dose below the threshold for harmful effects. What are anticoagulant rodenticides? Chemicals that prevent blood clotting, used to kill rodents. What is fescue toxicosis? A condition in livestock caused by consuming infected fescue. What are the functions of toxicology reporting guidelines? Ensure accurate and consistent case documentation. What is tremorgenic mycotoxin? A fungal toxin causing tremors and neurological symptoms. What are the benefits of proteomics in veterinary toxicology? Identifying protein changes linked to toxicity. Name an important regulatory body for animal toxicology. F. Food and Drug Administration. What is the significance of proteomics in diagnostics? Helps detect toxic exposure at molecular levels. What is a common contaminant in poorly managed grazing lands? Toxic plants like Datura. What role do veterinary toxicologists play in food production? Ensuring animal products are safe for human consumption. What is methemoglobinemia? A condition where hemoglobin is unable to carry oxygen effectively. What is the role of global disease surveillance in toxicology? Monitoring and preventing cross-border toxin spread. What is taxine? A toxic alkaloid found in euplants. What is the purpose of histopathology in toxicology? Studying tissue changes caused by toxins. Name a toxin affecting reproductive health in animals. Zearalenone, a mycotoxin. What is the significance of artificial intelligence in toxicology? Enhances diagnostics and data analysis. What is a characteristic feature of botulinum toxin? Causes muscle paralysis. What does chronic exposure mean? Long-term exposure to a toxicant. What is acute toxicity? Toxic effects appearing shortly after exposure. What is a teratogen? A substance that causes developmental defects in embryos. What is the role of CPCSEA in veterinary toxicology? Ensuring ethical use of animals in research. Name an example of a neurotoxin. Lead or botulinum toxin. What are endocrine disruptors? Chemicals that interfere with hormonal systems. What is the purpose of the OECD guidelines? Standardize chemical safety testing worldwide. What is fluorosis? Damage to bones and teeth from excessive fluoride. What is the relevance of sulfamine? A mycotoxin causing excessive salivation in livestock. What does GLP stand for? Good laboratory practice. What is the significance of global warming in toxicology? Increases risk of exposure to environmental toxins. What is a common sign of nitrate poisoning? Chocolate brown-colored blood. What is an example of a diagnostic sample in toxicology? Liver or kidney tissue. What does IPMS stand for? Inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry. What are biphenyls known for in environmental toxicology? Persistent and bioaccumulative toxic pollutants. What is the effect of selenium toxicity? Hair loss, hoof deformities, and liver damage. What does LCMS detect in toxicology labs? Complex organic molecules and metabolites. What is the effect of ionophore toxicity? Muscle damage and heart failure in livestock. What is the concern with imidacloprid? Neurotoxic effects on insects and potential risks to animals. What is the role of veterinary toxicologists in regulatory agencies? Assessing chemical safety and setting exposure limits. What is the main concern with aflatoxins? Liver damage and cancer risk. What is the purpose of surveillance in veterinary toxicology? Early detection of toxic outbreaks. What is the significance of zearalenone contamination? Disruption of reproductive functions in animals. What does toxicokinetics study? How toxins move through and are processed by the body. What is the focus of feed safety regulations? Preventing contamination of animal feed with toxins.